मीडिया 9 टीवी को अभी सब्सक्राइब करें। लिमिटेड लायबिलिटी पार्टनरशिप एक्ट में हुए बदलाव। मौजूदा ऐसी जानकारी भारत के फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर श्रीमती निर्मला सीतारामन इन्होंने दी। आज दिल्ली में हुए पत्रकार परिषद में भारत के फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर श्रीमती निर्मला सीतारामन इन्होंने यह जानकारी दी। मौजूदा LLP बिल में कुछ ऐसी बातें हैं जिनके वजह से काफी क्रिमिनल एक्टिविटीज बढ़ रहे हैं, जिसके चलते इस पर कंट्रोल करने के लिए इस लिमिटेड लायबिलिटी पार्टनरशिप एक्ट में बदलाव करने पड़े। आइए सुनते हैं इस विषय में भारत के फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर श्रीमती निर्मला सीतारामन इन्होंने क्या जानकारी दी।
The second issue which relates to the Corporate Affairs Ministry is the Limited Liability Partnership Amendment Bill. Interestingly, one thing which really stood out for me was this act was passed in 2008, became effective in 2009, and from 2009 with about 81 sections in it, from 2009 till today, there was never a reason for touching or bringing in any amendment whatsoever. For the first time, for the Limited Liability Partnership Bill, an amendment is being proposed this time. And what is the necessity for us to bring in the amendment? I'll briefly touch upon the fact that there was a committee which was formed, Company Law Committee, which was formed in 2013. They had actually looked at the Companies Act only and given a lot of recommendation, but gradually they also were made to required to also look into LLPs, limited liability partnerships. Now, why is this limited liability partnership amendment required now? Because we are doing a lot of change in the Companies Act, and those corporate bodies under the Companies Act are getting a lot of ease of doing business. Most of the sections which had criminality in its approach, criminality being the spirit with which some of the sections were written, are now getting decriminalized for Companies Act. But for the LLP, a similar treatment had to be given, because now LLPs are becoming more popular among startups. Many small companies which are being formed by 2 or 3 partners are also facing situation where many of the sections relate to criminal offences. I'll just give you a picture of what it is. As of today, you have 24 penal provisions in the Act, 21 compoundable offences, and about 3 non-compoundable offences, and there was no default which is dealt under an IAM. Now, after the amendment bill which the cabinet has cleared today, and that which will definitely go to the parliament, the total number of penal provisions in the Act will be reduced to 22. Number of compoundable offences will be only 7. Number of non-compoundable offences will be only 3. And number of defaults to be dealt under IAMs will be only 12. And number of penal provisions which will get omitted will be, one of them will get completely omitted. And therefore, alternative framework will also be dealing with one of them. So a total of 12 offences are to be decriminalized for LLPs. And then 3 sections are totally to be omitted, of which one is of course getting decriminalized also. Therefore, this set of amendments are one, bringing for the LLPs a equal play field compared with the corporates, large corporates which come under the Companies Act. So somewhere between the large companies which are very well regulated and partnerships or small proprietorship, LLPs in between did not have the benefit of many of the things which were happening either under simplified regulation or under the ease of practice, whether it is under the proprietorship. So we are bridging this gap and making LLPs far more attractive and easy to handle, so that many of the startups today which prefer the LLP model can also feel equally given ease of business opportunities. So this has also been today cleared, and I'm very happy to say that this is after the committee, the company law committee's recommendations, but even then there was a public domain kind of a, this whole document was put in the public domain, opinions were elicited from anyone who chose to give it. So that level of consultation is also over and done with. We had collected the views, and even those views have been looked into and taken into consideration. So one of the things which is new, which I would just like to flag off, is we are coming up with a new definition of small LLPs. If you can have small companies, why not small LLPs? So prevailing at the moment is 25 lakh or 40 lakhs is the kind of numbers that we talk about when we are talking about turnover size, and also LLPs with contribution less than or equal to 25 lakhs, the partner's contribution, and turnover less than 40 lakhs are treated as small LLPs. Now what we are saying is 25 lakh will go over to 5 crores, and 40 lakh, the turnover size, will now be treated as 50 crores. So even 5 crore contribution and 40 crores and 50 crores turnover will be treated as small LLPs, which means we are expanding the scope of what can be a small LLP, and therefore the businesses which need a larger turnover, larger contribution of the proprietors will also get the benefit of being small in its definition. So even that a newer element is being brought into the LLP, and this is the amendment which has been cleared into the LLP Partnership Act, the Limited Liability Partnership Act, being amended for the first time, an act which was commencing in its operation, although passed in 2008, from 2009.